Hello, everybody. It is time for Curiosity Challenge Strixhaven week number 5. I'm Nathaniel, twitch.tv/the_ida with Zach, SwordsAndStatutes, twitch.tv/SwordsAndStatutes. We have free weekly 3-match tournaments each Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and you're either watching live on Twitch or undead on YouTube. But you know what? Before we go into that, Zach, what is Curiosity?
Well, you know what, Nathaniel? I'm so glad that you asked. Oh,
Heavy.
yeah, I gotta format rules here. You know, it looks like a big book, but Curiosity is so simple. It is the most affordable, the most accessible way to play Magic, and it's really easy to learn. It's a 40 card format using the most recent set of standard Magic cards, and we have rarity restrictions. In your 40 card deck, you must have 2 singleton, rare or mythic cards, and you must have 6 uncommons with a maximum of 2 copies of any single uncommon. So you can't have 3 copies of the same uncommon. The rest of your deck is filled with common cards with a maximum of 4 copies of any one card and basic lands. There's also an 8-card sideboard where there is no real rarity restriction. However, you can't have 4 of the same rare. You must have a singleton copy, that way you can swap out those rares with another rare. For Strixhaven specifically, we are allowing the Mystical Archive to be played, and those cards must be played at the rarity they are printed in the Mystical Archive.
Nice. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Zach. And I know we talk about this every week, so we're just going to glaze over this. But you know what's really good about Curiosity?
What?
You get to play on Discord and talk to humans.
Whoa!
And, we have a little voice chat room set up for you, so it's not like you're just playing on Arena. You're actually playing someone else. You actually get to talk to them if you want. If you don't want to talk to them, you don't have
okay.
to talk. They
Yeah.
can just talk to you, and you can be like, "Yeah, cool, dude."
Just like at F&M.
Yeah. If you don't want to talk to the person, the good thing about it not being on F&M is that you yourself can be naked, and your opponent can be naked, and
You'll never know.
You'll never know. You don't have to worry about your opponent's BO or their breath or
their weird playmat that
oh
you don't want to see.
God, their customized playmat with like a weird. It's actually a playmat of one of those anime pillow things,
Yeah.
and it's the guy or the gal that you're playing against hugging that anime pillow.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't think that I should be here. And I think you should go to jail. Anyways, so it's just really fun. We've actually, you're just hanging out, and eventually you're like, hey, I've got a friend online. And if you haven't had a friend online, then you should go get one. They're great.
Yeah.
But, just by participating in these free weekly curiosity challenges, you will earn points towards the end of the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do those get me?
Well, there is no prize, but we do cut to the top 7 to find our crowned cave dweller. And actually, we also cut... Well, this season is new. We'll have a Battle of the Oozers, where anyone who hasn't made the top 7 can enter in a contest beforehand to get into that final tournament. And if you do win the tournament, all of our donations that we have raised during the season, and mainly on the last day, will go towards the animal shelter of the winner's choice in their area. So that's really great. But let's take a peek at these scores. So, bam.
Yeah. So looking at these again, we're looking at the top 7, and we see in places 1 and 2 we have Ensigned Redshirt and the Manisold leading at 11. But between the top place and 7, we have about a 4-point differential, with a couple folks very close behind, like Arl and Sung at 5 points. It is something, though, you can see how some folks are down at 2 points, 1 point. They're not out, though. It's something where there's the big Oozer tournament that's happening the night before the Cave Dweller Clash, but also joining the season right now, you can get enough points to get into that top 7. People have done it. You just got to play really well. And hey, that's the fun of it.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was last season, Jerome actually came in very late in the season and ended up breaking into the 8th spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was just really sweet. And, now, um, as you can tell, like, we have some people who didn't play on week 4. So, not everyone's going to play every week. Yeah, if you play every week, there's a good chance you'll be able to break it into the top 7. Um, but that's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's still anyone's chance can win this.
For sure.
Anyone can make that deck, and with sparring regime being suspended this
Mm-hmm.
week, I think that we're going to see a lot more of mid-range to blowout decks, bomb decks at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. With Sparring Regimen being the force behind multiple aggro decks last week, we ended up suspending it because it won. It was in the winning deck 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not in any decks this week, but it will come back or is legal week after this, week 6. If Sparring Regimen is in a winning deck after or next week or beyond, it will be banned for the season and any other events, though. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll see what happens, though.
And yeah, what's up?
One other thing to note. What's up? One other thing to note. We do have a website where you can go see all of these standings and sort of get a little bit more information about the format, other seasons that we've done, and what those seasons looked like. That is curiositymtg.com. And our website has been nominated for a Magic the Gathering Content Creator Award.
Oh.
It's a major award.
Oh, what's the is Wizards of the Coast? They
oh no, not them.
Oh, okay.
But it's another. It's
Channel Fireball.
Oh no, not them either.
Oh, I guess
I think it's literally just MTGCCA. But hey,
awesome.
if they want to award us or nominate us, we'll take it.
And we will take it in stride.
That's right.
We take everything seriously, so we'll take it very seriously. And I'm sure our family will finally be proud of us. I'm waiting for that phone call. Hey Nathaniel, I'm proud of you. And then I'll go, thanks, Dad. And on to round number 1. Welcome to round number 1. We have Pro Gaming Mode, aka Jerome, versus Queenie of Blades, aka Queenie, celebrating her first year anniversary as a streamer. So go on to twitch.tv/Queenie Airy.
Queenie Airy.
E-R-I.
I feel like if it was airy, there would be an A. Like airy, like Greekish.
Oh, well.
I don't know.
This is the... wait, I need to do my NPR voice, like last week. Well, looks like Queenie already has her necrotic fumes ready to go.
Really, necrotic fumes is quite good for her. Also, I think... So Jerome has been doing a sort of teamer build. We see him get his Mizzix's Mastery. But he keeps iterating on this teamer approach. So really interested to see how that goes today as well.
Yeah, I think Quandrix is one of my favorite things. Just Test of Talents, Eureka Moment, Serpentine Curve. These are like the best cards in the format. Although, unlike a lot of people, I am very not into Test of Talents being in the main board. What's your feeling on about that?
Um, I think I think I think Test of Talents is definitely main boardable. Um, it's something where unless you're up against a like completely aggro deck, you gotta have things to hit with it. If even if it's like a like a lesson or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Can you not handle my PR voice? Test of Talents on the on that spell. I forget what it's called, but you know, it's actually very interesting. My new strategy is to kind of, you know, your opponent's going to play 3 or 4 of a lot of these learn cards, and if you test the talents of them, you really slow them down completely.
The thing about Test of Talenting a lesson card, that has less of an impact though because it's coming out of sideboard and you can't impact the sideboard with Test of Talents. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
but that's why he did a learn card.
Oh, I'm so up on it today because I was laughing at your NPR voice.
Welcome to the stream.
So we do see Eureka Moment getting another mountain here. So Jerome is getting closer to mastering his Mythics.
How much is Mythic's mastery total?
So to overload it, it is 8. And
8
so
total.
I think, is he at that? No, he's 1 away. Igneous Inspiration right here to take out the Blood Researcher. I dig this. And thinking about Queenie's new deck, this is a very like aggro focused Golgari deck, which we've seen a couple times this season. I heard her talking about it earlier though, and it seems like the goal is to get out a Bookworm like turn 4.
Oh wow.
So we'll see if she can achieve that. All right, so Jerome has his mana for mastery in hand.
And I feel like Queenie is saying, I don't want to kill this Quandrix. It has had a lot of time to kill it, and it's really helped get these lands out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quandrix Cultivator or Apprentice is just such a hard card to deal with. It's one of those like must kill, and we saw her use a Rite of Extus on it to like not have to deal with it again. She may be regretting that now since Bookworm can sort of come back from the grave multiple times.
Yeah, and that's kind of something we saw a little bit earlier. She could have killed it on turn 3. Traded it out, but said, I want to keep my necrotic fumes alive. Looks like Jerome is just holding on to this mastery. You're not going to bait out any counter spells because your opponent can't do none.
Yeah, with Queenie being all tapped out, Jerome has an interesting opportunity here, being able to just fill his board, making even more options for that necrotic fumes. Let me see what's curious about. All right, we're using the necrotic fumes on the Bookworm.
I think what Jerome is trying to do is just get those spells into the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. So looking at Jerome's other rare, Uvilda and Nasari, these two deans, it looks like those also revolve around getting instant sorceries exiled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see if he plays that. I think he already has the game here though, because we'll probably see a mastery right now. Or no, he casts the Nasari side, which reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until the end of turn, you may cast spells from among those exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were any type used. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a + a counter on that card.
Oh, wow.
On Nasari. So I can see why he's using that, but lots of setup cost. And Jerome took game one.
Pretty much handily. Took game one without any real hardships, you know?
Yeah, he just kind of came in early and was able to just take it over.
And what I really like about Jerome's deck is, if we look at it, this is something that you got to think about in this format is, if I'm going up against Test of Talents, am I going to lose a lot? And we see no more than 2 copies of any instant or sorcery, which is kind of hard against Test of Talents. You know, I guess Serpentine Curve. So we have 3 of Serpentine Curve, but nothing else really is going to be scary against Test of Talents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we saw him bring in that other Igneous Inspiration that was in his sideboard as well, and we saw that used to quite the good advantage to take out that Blood Researcher.
And there you go. You have it in your opening hand. This is great.
This is a great hand. Jinx,
you owe me a water.
Yeah. All right, we got a campus off right here. Wow.
Yes.
Double Apprentice.
Stacked hand for pro gaming mode Jerome.
Do we see Inspiration just fire off?
I don't think so. I think you go super greedy and put the Apprentice out, although you already have a ton of lands.
Having both of them down, though, that makes it so Queenie has to kill 2 now, and it's just much harder. And we know that she had difficulty dealing with 1 of them, so having 2 can't make it any better.
I think she didn't have difficulty. I think she just made it a low priority on that first game, and
that's a good way to put that.
Didn't really, I guess, give it the didn't bolt the bird, and that's,
you gotta bolt the bird. So we're Igneous Inspirationing the Professor of Zoomancy. That's a good bear. What do you get here?
I don't know. So when you don't know, it's always safe to get the mascot exhibition.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, none of the other cards really tickle my fancy in this moment. So
yeah, getting mascot exhibition, especially when Queenie can see that he's very close to that amount anyway. Okay, field trip. Sort of a low impact spell there. Maybe we'll see a Necrotic Fumes.
And that's the hard part about Necrotic Fumes. It is a 2-card setup. You're not going to get rid of your Blood Researcher for Necrotic Fumes. And Lash of Malice is going to do the trick.
Yeah.
The further we get in our seasons, the less I like lessons in a lot of decks.
It's just something where this format requires you really have to start doing something turn 2, and if you don't, you're really behind. And so using your turn 2 to go learn something that only costs 2 mana, then on turn 3 you're sort of down in mana costing, or you're spending less mana than you could have, and statistically you're just gonna not do as well that way.
You know, one bad thing that we did see there is we saw the mastery. That's on the bottom of the graveyard. I mean, bottom of your library now. So you're gonna have to hopefully get a lot of these apprentices going. But as you notice, Queenie might not be alive by the time you get to your mastery.
Yeah, and again, the environmental sciences, yeah, this is going to add to life, but it's just not. It's like too little, too late. For, I mean, holding up 2 mana, that may be an eliminate or something like that, but yeah, like, even though environmental sciences was on the short list to be one of the most played cards, I feel like it hasn't performed up to what we expected it to.
I mean, I'm still high on environmental science, but it's just one of those things. I actually have started to mainboard it instead of having it in my sideboard. A colorless find a land is just so great in this format. It's great in anything. 2 mana, find a land.
I guess I was just envisioning environmental science as being a magecraft enabler. And that's something that we really haven't seen much this season, with the exception of Xivillian Selesnya deck. There haven't been many just really magecraft centric decks.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like in this format, magecraft, the cards that trigger off that actually get you really great magecraft triggers are expensive, so they're late in the game. And in this format, it's hard. You know, card draw isn't everywhere, and you kind of need to have a card draw heavy deck. So you need to have a really specific deck, and it just doesn't turn out to be that way. My cat is trying to get into the closet. 1 second. Hey, Leroy. That's not where the jazz is located. The jazz is located over here.
The jazz?
Isn't that what NPR listens to only?
No, they listen to like classical.
Oh, isn't that jazz? Is jazz not classic?
No. Classical and jazz are two things. You're a musician. You used to be.
Wow.
You were in a rock band.
Rock and roll band.
Yeah.
I put them in the same category in my head. Music that is boring.
I'm not a big jazz fan, but I can listen to some like cozy classical.
What about the Utah Jazz?
Is that basketball?
Yes.
If I had to ask, Queenie sees that Jerome has nothing, the big nada, except for now this Dean, which is like kind of okay.
Well, it feels bad because she had 7 mana. Her opponent had a hand of 5 cards, or 6 cards, and all of them were lands except 1 card. Granted, she probably couldn't have dealt with that card anyway, so...
Yeah. So Jerome's going to get in for 9 here. Oof. All right, we see Ari dropping down to get some exile triggers on. Queenie was able to scry though, so that's good.
She will be able to deal with the threats in the air, but
looks like Jerome is considering scrying here with his ample campuses. Just kind of wanted to see whether or not his... Okay, so he is going to exile that. Oh, it doesn't exile that. It exiles the other opponents.
Yeah, the card.
You gotta read the card.
You gotta read the card to know what it does.
Thank you, Ignis Inspiration, the flyer.
Yeah,
What do I know?
That was an interesting thing, but hey. One sec. I'm just gonna open up my closet.
Leroy just has to get in there. He just has to know. He's like, "What's in this closet,
I want to
man?
know what's in the closet.
I gotta know."
Well, it looks like this match.
Looks like Jerome's about to win.
Yeah, about to win. Then we'll open up the closet. Let the cat in.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
won.
The math.
Math happens. Well, the queen is taken down by Jerome.
And ironically, we have a sponsor for this. That was the 2-0 Leroy. Oh man, the 2-0 Leroy Laser Technology laser guns. And
what's their tagline? Because like I know that Leroy Laser Technologies loves fast games.
Mm-hmm. Their tagline is you're dead.
Well, hopefully we'll see some more 2-0 games that Leroy Laser Technologies will sponsor. Yeah. But hey, if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch and you happen to be a company or organization, and we can integrate your brand into this just as easily as that was.
And yeah, and we'll definitely not fumble over the words, but we'll be back with round number 2 in just a second. All right, round number 2, we have Xivillian versus the Mana Sultan.
Wow. So both of these decks won their first round, and we have Xivillian's familiar Selesnya deck.
Mm-hmm.
And he has updated it because sparring regimen was suspended. It still looks pretty strong though, with Mavinda and Dragon Guard Elite as its rares. Sultan though is doing a different take on approach using an Esper shell. So we'll see how this goes.
Interesting. So I played Sultan this morning and kind of some play testing, and looks like he play tested himself out of the deck that he was using. Now, honestly, I know that sparring regime has been banned, or sorry, suspended. But I feel like the decks that use it can stand on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, I was running a Boros one, and that one cannot stand on its own because I used the double strike kind of creature.
Combat Professor.
Well, I used Combat Professor, and then there was the double strike common. It's like a 1/2. It has double strike, and that only really was good with sparring regime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it adds a +1/+1 counter and makes it pseudo vigilant.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I think you're right though that most of the other decks that are using sparring regimen likely can stand on their own. Like we see the Selesnya build, and then also Andrew is running a Silver Quill deck that has a similar aggressive bent. but is running Dramatic Finale instead of
Sparring regime.
Sparring regime. Yeah. Man. And actually, interestingly enough, if Andrew wins this week, Dramatic Finale will be suspended.
Because it won last week.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe Sparring Regimen will not see a permanent ban, because it is one of those cards that it's not the bomb
Diggity.
It's not the bomb diggity. There are ways to deal with it that are very easy. Look at this. I've never seen that animation. It's Beauty and the Beast shit right there. It's so dumb. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Shit. All right, back to NPR.
Well, actually, I think you're right though, that if once Sparring Regimen comes back from its suspension, it will likely not be fully banned. And the reason behind that is multiple people put Containment Breach, which is artifact enchantment removal, in their sideboards this week as a reaction to Sparring Regimen and other heavy enchantments coming in. Ooh, we see a Snakeskin Veil burying that books.
What is very interesting with Sparring Regimen is there aren't a lot of enchantments in this format. So,
or at least good ones, for what it matters.
Yeah, and so putting Containment Breach in your sideboard feels bad because you're only putting it in for one card. But what is good about Containment Breach being in your sideboard versus other like enchantment removals, and Containment Breach is the one and only lesson that I like, because when you have something that you're trying to remove, Containment Breach is the card that you can play to always, you're almost always gonna get your Containment Breach. You're not gonna have to go through your 40 cards to find it. So I know sounds stupid, but yeah, it is one of the only good like perfect lesson kind of cards. Here's my answer.
I'm going to disagree with you there about
well,
it.
You're wrong, so let's move on.
I'm disagree with you about it feeling bad. I feel like Containment Breach is it's a card that would have been played as a sideboard card, regardless of if it was a lesson card. So in that sense, I feel like you're right. It is a perfect lesson.
So I was right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're right. What is happening here? We're getting a big play, and then okay,
we're getting I'm gonna survive play.
Yes. Okay, that's hot right there.
And only someone like Xivillian would realize this and do the math to make it work.
Yeah, because that's a lot of math.
That's a lot of math. I just got a headache even thinking about it.
If Sultan has a Lash of Malice right here, oof. Well, we'll have to clip that. That can be your Instagram thing for this week.
Yeah.
Right, so what do we see coming in? We're dropping Mavinda and bringing in Mila, crafty companion. I think Mila is a shit card. What do we see add back in?
I'm not quite sure, but
saw 2. Okay, Beaming Defiance is a common. Okay.
Are we running it for?
We're running it for the hexproof, it looks like.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, it gives +2/+2 and hexproof
To everyone?
until end of turn. Target creature.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the doggy.
Oh.
Idiot.
So Mila is a 1 white 2/3 legendary fox. When an opponent attacks one or more planeswalkers you control, put a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. Whenever a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card.
Okay.
So not the worst in this matchup, because Sultan does have a lot of things that are going to target civilians permanents, like a Lash of Malice or Barbarian Books, but I don't know, not the best IMO.
And Xivillian missed a land drop, or I believe missed a land drop. Yep. Not the kind of spot you want to be in.
Wow, double curate right here. All sorts of card draw for Sultan.
So Sultan seeing the 4.
Oh, that hurts right there. Quandrix Pledge Mage needing 2 green. Not really working out for Xivillian. Gonna take the 1.
That is one of the interesting things playing against Mana Sultan's deck, is usually his first opening turns that I've noticed is a lot of playing these pests. So it's not the worst when you miss a land or two, but we've missed I think 3 land drops.
2 or 3,
Two
yeah,
or
at this
3.
point.
And here's the thing, not having that sweet land drop.
Oof. Yeah, for Sultan getting Onyx down already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, wow. Xivillian can only play this summoning and just pray that he can tick down Onyx. But Sultan could even take that out this turn.
Yeah, eye twitch, blocking.
Oof.
Professor Onyx, not gonna lie, probably the just single-handedly best Magecraft.
Oh, for sure. Like that's a reason to play Magecraft. And it's interesting because like a lot of like we were talking about earlier, there's not a lot of good payoffs, but there's one.
And an interesting thing about Mana Sultan's deck is, like I said, I played against him in a version of this deck earlier today. He's not playing Magecraft.
He just has a bunch of
spells. He has Serpentine Curve. He has all of these spells to pump up. You notice he's putting a lot of cards in his graveyard, so he's drawing those Serpentine Curves, and
Xivillian calls it.
Xivillian calls it.
Packing the bags.
Packing the bags, and that is another one for Leroy's laser technology. Faster than you imagine.
We did see Xivillian experience some land screw though, and that's another just it's one of those things that happens in Magic, but I don't know. Did anyone help us out with that this week?
Yeah. One second. Judges, screw and nail supply. Thank you so much. Yeah, so yeah, Xivillian got screwed on lands, and so that is the judge. Yeah.
Judge land screwing.
Yeah, on Valorant, it's like, that was the prime gaming of the week. Or that was another something, 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 something. That was the judge. If you don't want to get land screwed, get your screws at Judge's Screw and Nail Supply.
That's right.
And we'll be right back with round number 3, the final round. It has been a fast week.
Yeah.
Not only is it 2 O's, but it's 2 O's aggro in your face. When we kind of expected,
I thought aggro would fade.
you thought aggro would fade. But yeah, we'll be right back. We'll see aggro in the finals. Round number 3, the Mana Sultan. Sorry. Round number 3, the Mana Sultan versus Jerome. We've actually watched both of these players win this week, but only one will win this match.
Right. Only one can be the crowned cave dweller of this week. And Sultan went ahead and dipped that hand and got his approach. So that worked out well for him. All right. So as we know, Jerome is playing a go big teamer deck, and Sultan is doing a kill everything
and bottom your approach deck.
Yep. He bottoms his wow. Okay.
I think he's mentioned that his approach is, when he plays it in his decks, he is usually just his, if this happens, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Not my win con.
That's so interesting. Like, oh my gosh. It's so interesting. It makes me yawn. Like I would have kept that round, or at least in my opening hand. Like, why not?
Yeah, it is actually very interesting too, just with all the lands that he has.
Yeah.
But I think hindsight is 2020 because, you know, his opponent's not really putting pressure on.
Getting an elemental summoning. Holding up that test of talents. We know that Jerome is playing a one of test of talents in his main board. Wow. Taking things very slow here.
Yeah, Jerome not really playing much. And this is what you don't want to see when you bottom your approach. Lands, lands, lands. Your opponent not doing anything.
Yep.
You could have played that approach. Felt good about yourself.
Sultan has 2 ways to sort of mess up Jerome here with this Burying Books and the Divide by Zero. Don't know if we'll see those this turn, though. Nope.
The squirrel colony needs 2 more lands to do something.
Eye Twitch on top makes sense, just to be able to get another flying body and kill it to learn. Not bad.
Yeah. Flying not going to be that much damage because it will just die to the colony. One of the very few cards with reach. In this
I'm reaching.
You are reaching. You're showing everyone your pits.
I am. Quandrix Apprentice. Now, that was a big issue for Queenie earlier in today. But we'll see if Mana Sultan has the same fate. Ooh, hot tech here. Divide by 0 on the heated debate to bounce it back to Jerome's hand and ensure the kill for the Scourge Colony.
Yeah, you gain a life. You get to learn. Mascot exhibition. Very nice here. We are running out of lands. But hey, just one more and we're Gucci. Okay.
Here it
wow.
is. Sultan's just on the warpath here. Getting out early. Doing well.
Okay, the
Test
one of.
talents. Okay. Pledge Mage coming down. We'll see if Jerome can get that bigger. Yep, with that inspiration.
And yeah, the Serpentine Curve, though, excuse me, is going to grow. Probably end up being a 6/6 sooner or later. And it will, knowing Sultan's deck, it's probably going to outgrow this Quantrix Pledge Mage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we'll probably see the Pledge Mage get buried in books. Jerome may be able to play around that, though. He's a pretty skillful player.
I'm not quite sure what he'd be able to get around it. I think here we're going to see a hunt for specimens into exile your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Necrotic fumes. Nope. Moving on.
Okay. A fractal summoning to, I guess, get the board back online.
Very confused.
Yeah, getting that other blue. Not really following that. I don't know how much other white that Sultan's playing, though. Really, the only white is approach. So again, Sultan just pushing the boundaries of the format by more or less doing a blue-black deck, which is unsupported.
Unsupported and possibly winning another week with an unsupported color pair.
So Jerome with a flyer makes things a bit difficult here, but going in for 6 could have some interesting blocks.
I feel like we're going to see a buried in books.
So Jerome has only 1 mana up.
Oh.
And, oh, wow. Okay.
You can't bury in the books with 1 mana up. Oh.
But Sultan does have bury in books.
Sorry, I meant, I was thinking of whatever that spell. The fire brimstone death spell that I know Jerome has.
The debate? Heated debate?
Heated debate.
Gonna let it through. Wow. Sultan going to get a fractal. I'm gonna pay for 5. Oh no, going full on. Getting a big boy.
Big old beefy boy.
Getting a big beefer. They can take him to the blue ribbon table.
Please enlighten me what this blue ribbon table is.
You know, like a county fair, you gotta have the biggest cow. That way it gets the blue ribbon. And then you win that ribbon.
Oh, that's why I always ate at the blue ribbon thing. My mom got that. My mom would always have the blue ribbon on. Okay, that makes sense.
God.
I went to the fair. What? She was the biggest cow. From what you say. You just called my mom a big cow.
Oh God.
I'm wondering. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Nathaniel, would you call this a stalled board state?
Y- y- yeah, but I don't have the graphic. One second. Yes, I would call this a stalled boar state, brought to you by Jasper. Do you want to give the tagline?
40 years of auto service from Jasper Jalopies, ready to unstall your boards.
And your cars.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to practice that.
I feel like we do. But hey, if you're a business or organization and you want integrated ads into tournament coverage, we promise to practice that stuff. CuriosityMTG@gmail.com. Business inquiries.
We won't talk about my mom being a cow.
We gotta start putting that shit at the bottom of the videos too. Business inquiries. Nathaniel's mom. All right. Oh crap.
Francis, I'm sorry, Francis.
If I was Sultan, I would test the talents that serpentine curve.
Well,
there we go. He's listened to me. Not only did he hear me say use the lash of malice, he heard this.
Yeah.
He's doing math. Oh wow. Okay. Oh nope. There we go. Man.
Oof.
Man Sultan is making out like a bandit.
Yeah. Making out pretty well. His opponent only has lands in hands. This Bury and Books is going to be able to take out the Quandrix Pledge Mage for a second. Ooh.
Yeah, I think you got a Necrotic Fumes here.
No, you target. Yeah. It's one of the confusing cards. First you target, then you sack.
Smacking in with this elemental.
Okay.
All right. How is Jerome going to react here with only lands in his hand?
I think he's scry.
The bottom must have been something. It must have been a land. He's got more mana than God right now.
Got a lot of mana. Oh man. Pressure's
Okay,
on.
going in. Sultan gonna let it through. Okay.
He's got life. Don't do it. Okay.
Getting a scry on.
Stressful.
Another test of talents is quite good here. Popping in. Eureka moment. Getting out all of these lands for Jerome. Is Leroy trying to get the closet again?
Oh no, Freddy was doing the scratching post.
Oh. That's perfect.
She's lovely.
She is.
We still have lands in our deck.
Yeah, like Jerome must be nearing the bottom of his deck here.
10 cards left. And I doubt that any are lands. Yep. No
21.
more lands.
Wow.
No more lands.
fractal
Or
summoning though.
no more forests. That only gets you forests.
Yeah.
It's a bad card. And fractal summoning's not gonna do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Still, fractal summoning is no.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
I like what this is going with.
All right. So Master Symmetrist gives creatures with power equal to toughness trample. So quite good for Sultan or for Jerome here, possibly turning this match around. Yeah, drop that to bottom.
Yeah, with Barrier Books and Tested Talents, Jerome needed to have 2 creatures and found them.
I think Sultan sort of has to bury in books here.
Oh, he definitely does, and has to hope to get something off the top.
Are you saying that he needs a top deck?
Oh, yeah. Which one was that?
It's Freddy. Wow, actually, that was great. That was an excellent top deck.
Excellent top deck. Decks by Freddy. Top deck. Top choice. Top decks. Here's a bunch of wood to show to.
It's on one.
Thank you. We need to we'll get practicing in for that.
I like how you laughed at the tagline too.
What the fuck? I also covered the screen, and then the damage went through, so you didn't even see how the game ended.
Oh my god.
So look at this. We got Approach and Professor Onyx, and then the rest are lessons. And I'll keep saying it until this season is over. I hate these lesson sideboards. And I hate that people who don't play lessons on the who don't play actual sideboard cards keep winning.
The thing is, though, I feel like Mana Sultan really made great use of his lessons here. Wow, this is the exact same opening, or almost the exact same opening hand that he had last game.
Well, and that's one of those things. These Lashes of Malice, they're not that great.
Not that great against Jerome's deck for sure.
And you know that. So you don't want to keep this, because basically you have to double spell it, and your hand gets worse. So
that looks. Oof.
And it gets worse. And we put, of course we put Lash of Malice. Yep. Makes sense.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Mana Sultan and I have talked a lot about like mulliganing versus not. And that is one of the hardest skills to learn in Magic. And Curiosity doesn't make it easier just because it's a 40 card deck either.
Yeah, I definitely am very curious on how this match is going to go.
Got ourselves a land here. The fact that Jerome already has Quandrix Apprentice out is pretty solid for him. But Sultan had life, whatever.
And, you know, one of these things about these slow-ass decks is even if you mulligan to 5, you know your opponent's not going to be doing anything.
Yep.
So
You're just at such a disadvantage.
No, you're okay. You're not at a disadvantage. Well, you are, but it's not as bad if your opponent's not going to be doing anything.
That's okay. I can kind of see that. I can kind of see it.
And now this actually is kind of funny because Lash and Malice would take out both of these creatures.
Yep. Whereas right now, Sultan has drawn 3 land cards in a row. That sounds like a flood.
Which one was that one?
Flood insurance.
What is this? Oops. Who's Aurora Logistics?
That's Sultan's dog for long games.
Oh. Here we go. Jade Flood Insurance. When you have flood insurance, you won't flood. And well, you'll have. Thank you for sponsoring us, Jade's Flood Insurance. Moving on. I didn't know his dog was named Aurora.
I didn't know either. I thought his dog's name was like Betty or Buddy or something.
Oh wow, you're not a good friend.
I had to look it up in the Discord because I knew I'd asked, and then I found it.
He calls his dog Rory.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the dog's name is Aurora.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we do have some options here. It's not looking too terrible.
Great.
It's not looking too terrible.
I think you elemental summoning here and just get another land or another card in the yard for curve.
You know, I didn't notice until earlier today, that the summonings, they're all the same name. You got pest summoning, inkling summoning. God. I just noticed that, and this is
great.
Week number 5. Why is it not called mascot summoning? I mean,
right.
So this isn't the best spot to be in, but when I'm mulligan down to 5, it's not the worst.
Sultan could triple spell here, go double eye twitch and serpentine curve. Doesn't seem that bad.
He will have the biggest booty on the battlefield.
If you have the biggest booty, there we go. We see it. We see that booty popping out, getting ready to hit the dance floor.
Will the biggest booty please hit the dance floor? Okay.
Ooh. Wow. I didn't even know Jerome had that much land.
Oh, he's got so much land.
He's got a lot of it. Oh, wow. Okay. So Onyx coming down. No counters available for Jerome.
I think there's only one card that counters Professor Onyx in the set.
I think it's negate too.
Oh, there's 2 cards, negate and the other one.
Reject.
That's creatures.
Those creatures or planeswalkers.
Oh.
Let's see.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a few cards that can do.
Yeah, reject is creature or planeswalker. I don't know which one you're thinking of.
It's the other mystical archive. The 3 mana abilities or spells counter unless the opponent.
Whirlwind Denial.
Whirlwind Denial.
Whirlwind.
A card that I didn't appreciate until this set.
Yep. I am the exact same way. Because, it was just not that good in Theros.
Is that when it came out? It was in Theros?
I think that was when it was first released. I'll check Gatherer. But yeah, we folks are asking, what is this board state? And this is quite the board state. Just lots of big booties here.
There are a lot of big booties. Curate, bringing Serpentine Curve. That one's going to go up because you're going to put Lash of Malice. Okay, no, you got to do this right. You put Lash of Malice in the graveyard. Okay. Oh, wait. We want to play it. That makes more sense. This is a interesting thing that Mana Sultan can do. in,
Oh,
in
wow.
a way
Yeah.
to get more. Right now we see a possibility of just 4 life swing by just playing Lash of Malice and Burying Books. So a surprise coming your way, Jerome says the Mana Sultan.
So Onyx is I can never remember what Onyx's ultimate is.
Opponent loses 3 life, or
That's right. It's like it storms off,
it's
sort of.
loses 3 life or discards a card. Repeat this 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many cards is Jerome at? Because he's again just burning through his library.
Not quite sure. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lands, 13 lands that we can
Wow.
see.
So we're probably going to see this Lash of Malice and the Variant Books. That'll be a 4 life swing and multiple blocks too.
I'm kind of confused on what is the possibility. Why would you attack all? Or do you just trying to go to bed? Or
Yeah, I'm not real sure what Jerome's plan is here. Like, I don't.
he's got to have a party trick. He's got to have something. Why do you attack with the 2/2s that are solid?
I mean, he does have Mizzix's Mastery in his deck, but that's not going to pump everything. Yeah, nothing in his deck is going to just like blow stuff up or make a like giant alpha strike. So kind of odd for sure in terms of what this attack is. Sultan is able to block almost everything.
He's gonna see. He spent his load and using Lash of Malice, not on the Quandrix Apprentice. I think maybe he's feeling the pressure of the rope.
I think that may be a ploy to make Jerome's deck keep going down. Not entirely sure though. I think this is a fractal summoning.
You gotta pick. It's gonna go bye-bye. Oh. Ugh. Serpentine Curb. Professor Onyx. One more. I think he'd keep the island.
I would have gone for Lash there to get rid of one of those apprentices. It also would have been cheaper to help sort of basically storm off, but get a lot of triggers going. Do you just go curve?
I mean, let's see. Does Mana Sultan like curbs?
He likes good mana curves, that's for sure.
Test the talents.
Oh,
And we're gonna see a response test of talents, most likely. Well, no, we're out of mana.
Yeah.
Oh.
That little shake. That was the big oof right there.
Big old oof, out of mana.
So Mana Sultan pulling the same trick Jerome did last game, getting rid of all of the serpentine curves.
And yes, this Professor Onyx is either going to die or get very low. We QQ to see how much mana we have. We at least want to downtick that once. We want to get at least 1 damage on, which there's the possibility we will, but and Jerome is playing with perfect information. He knows his opponent's hand.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to be using 2 spells on this, or just doing a good old trade-off.
Double. Oh wow! Has just pulled out the Instruction to Annihilation, which whoa. Oh my gosh! And Sultan's still down on mana, overloading to get a field trip.
Oh, you get everything.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Overloading
Wait.
to get, and look at mana Sultan.
Sultan is
So
salty Sultan right here.
And I guess all the lands are going to come out of here.
And it's just gonna whittle down.
Look at this. No more lands, probably.
Oh man, this has gotta hurt.
Especially being up so, I mean, not,
Yeah.
you know, being in the winning shoes. Now, we don't have any more forests. Oh no, we discarded a card, right? And just going for face, which actually is okay. You don't need to take Professor Onyx out because there's no reason to,
I guess you block here, yeah. Sultan's not gonna die this turn. Is there a way for Sultan to almost a deal to play 6 spells? Actually, wait, he can ult.
Yeah, but it's just discard a card, lose a life. Look at, we see at least 4 lands. And 6 times 3 is 24. Wait, 6 times 3 is 18. So, we have plenty of land.
Discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3.
Yeah, it's not going to do enough.
Okay, strategic planning. Go for that. Sultan trying to see what he's got to be able to go off here.
And they can get hunt for specimens. Or divide by 0. Just trying to get as many spells in as possible so you can pad your life total so you can die another turn later.
So still has 4 mana up. Could just grab the fractal summoning and cast it for 2.
Okay, we got a land.
Oof.
And it looks like we're going to go to a game number 3.
Sultan calling it in.
Had enough. You know, it's crazy. The first few games were really fast.
Yeah, and now we're on a pretty long game. And do we have someone sponsoring those too?
Oh yeah, we do.
It was the logistics one.
The Aura.
Yeah.
One. The long games brought to you by Aurora Logistics. For when you want to go a long time and your partners are ready for it. Or Aurora Logistics, here for you. Now back to the studio.
Oh, wow. Sultan's got a great hand.
He
So there's
has
that.
a great hand in that he has 3 of his 2 colors.
So one thing about that last game, Clausy's pointed out in chat that this set has been just very explosive. There have been just like, you have a couple turns that just like go off.
Mm-hmm.
And more so than some of the other sets we've dealt with. This one has just been, you either go off or you have a sloggy game.
And these definitely have been sloggy games.
Mm-hmm. Not sloppy games, but sloggy games.
Yeah, we don't get sloppy here.
No.
I do wonder, and I hate to say it, but I feel like Approach of the Second Sun is, I'm very curious on why it's still in Mana Sultan's deck. As we can see, it's not a bomb in his deck. I don't know if I think he said that he still hasn't won with it. And if you haven't won with a card, and you only have one of them, it seems like it's, it seems like it could be any other card and the deck will just be way stronger.
Yeah, like thinking about this, if Sultan was playing like Sedgemoor Witch along with Onyx, oh my god, that would be so strong. But you're right, he is running Approach, and part of me is wondering whether or not Sultan is just trying to do the Galaxy Brain play and try to get Approach banned by not winning with it.
But that's the thing. If he doesn't win with it, is it gonna get banned?
I mean, if it's in the deck.
I mean, it might get suspended, but will it get a banning?
I doubt it. It is interesting, though, how so many decks have been experimenting with Approach, and none of them have won.
Yeah.
It's been something where this season it has been dominated by really mid-range decks.
I think we just need to ban Approach so people don't lose.
Yeah, like I so far I don't think a single control deck has won because they have been trying to go for these like big mana plays that just fall to aggro.
Mm-hmm. That is one thing about Mana Sultan's deck is, even though it is a kind of like a big mana deck, it does have these small creatures that can be blocked and block and do all this stuff. But then he even has the ability to play like a 4/4 Serpentine Curve on turn 4.
Yeah.
So I just think like good on him. He's got this. He's got the strats.
Got the strats and the straps.
He is strapped on and ready to go. Strapped in and ready to go. Sorry.
I just hurt myself.
Oh no.
I don't know where that came from. Oh.
Did you laugh at yourself a hernia?
I did. Jade, come here. Oh my gosh. Bad animal. All right. So Sultan popping in, making them plays, has Jerome down to 11, double his life total.
Yeah, and we see Divide by Zero, Bury in Books. We see the juice. So Divide by Zero, not a counter spell. So
it really took me a while to recognize that because I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to have stuff die. But no, Divide by Zero is hot tech against heated debates. Wow, Jerome really wants to
Stay alive. Win the game.
I guess, yeah.
I wonder if we'll see a curate.
Jerome's also going to learn, go ahead and get a environmental sciences.
Plays the heated debate. We're going to see some stress. And
oh, wow.
Okay. No, we got approach. Are we going to see approach being played? We have the mana for it.
And Jerome's tapped out.
We're going to see it. Is he going to go for the... No.
No, he goes for the safe play.
He goes for the safe play.
Safe play. I don't blame him for it, though. It's game 3 in
the final.
Match 3. So you gotta play to win.
Play for the dubs.
An approach would not have been playing to win.
Well, we see that. I think we're still gonna see approach. We're gonna see this on top of that, and
yep.
Yeah, this unless Jerome can find a mascot summoning in his main board, he's not gonna have something that can.
Yeah, he's got to have a creature right now. Also, as there's 10 damage coming at him.
10 damage.
And with having burying books. Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, you're
down to
alive
6.
one more. Are we? We were talking about it. I don't
All
think we're gonna see an approach win.
No, I think Sultan's got him this next turn.
Okay, squirrel.
Scurvy colony.
Now, serpentine curb. Oh.
I think that was Sultan saying, I'm going to hold up mana for this, unlike last game.
Well, he doesn't really, he can definitely play both those spells right now.
Holding the burying books, we may be headed toward an approach win. Sultan's got 29 life, so he's got room to grow. Or
room to grow.
No,
yeah, he does have room to grow. He is not a good human being. You are right.
He's got time. He can chill. Gonna hold on the burying books. Gonna take 7. Wow.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
The bookworm.
Bookworm is a better target for burying books.
Here we go. Getting those scries happening. And just going to start putting them at the bottom. That way we can get closer to approach.
Now, does Jerome have double test the talents in his hand?
That's really the only thing that Jerome can use, knowing that approach is like three or 4 cards away.
Mm-hmm.
He more or less has to have that ready. And with Sultan having 1 test of talents, it's going to be a counter off. Might as well say a countertop.
A countertop.
Yeah, from Micah countertop. Just people slamming each other with pieces of paper. Burying books happening right here.
Burying books. So, I feel like you burying books the other creature, but this bookworm is gonna come back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, so Jerome just shuffled here. So the bookworm's not coming back anytime soon. And yeah, I think that the reason to bury in books the bookworm was because of the trample.
I understand that. That.
That's
now.
good.
I was thinking about that, and then I realized I made a mistakey wakies.
Chat called that out.
Thank you, chat.
Strategic planning. This is pretty solid
This is it.
for the old Sultan.
This is the dubs coming
Easy
through.
dubs.
Easy dubs.
Getting the draw.
Does that actually really help you? You're gonna see
It's
it no
in his
matter
hand.
what. Oof. Okay, it's in your hand. You need to have double test the talents. And I feel like that answer is we do not have double test the talents.
Oh man.
Okay. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in,
Let's see.
breathe out.
Can
breathe in,
Sultan get
breathe
a
breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
get an approach win? Oh my god.
Oh.
You let that resolve. Whoa.
I mean, you gotta, right?
Okay, so Jerome's still gonna have up mana for Test of Talents, but does Sultan have enough to 4, 5, 6, 7? Yes. I think Sultan has the win here.
Oh, they enter untapped.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just wait for this to happen. I will pick up the Bible, read it real quick, and I will be right back when these triggers have resolved.
All right. Oh man, gaining life too. Okay. Is Jerome gonna... Yeah, that's true. Eureka Moments put stuff untapped.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerome may have drawn into his double Test of Talents.
And it's always a popsicle ability.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Here
see.
it is.
Here we go.
Here we got
Firing
it.
it off.
Okay. There's a stop.
Do we have double Test of Talents? There's a 1.
There's 1. There's a test on a test. Is there a test on a test on a test? A test on a test on a test! But here's the
Oh man.
Oh. And we don't have any more mana to respond.
Oh my gosh. That. Wow. Good stuff right there.
That is G to the G's.
Wow.
Well, oops. Oh, well, oops. Double oops. Well, we'll be right back with our interview with the winner of the week, Jerome.
Whew.
All right, we're here with Jerome, Curiosity Challenge, Strixhaven week number 5 winner. Jerome, that was a real nail biter. How do you feel at the end of that match?
Yeah, it was really tough. I thought he got me by game 2. Glad I had the Mythic's Mastery popping off. Twice, I guess.
Yeah, it was something where when you in game 3 when you played Mythic's Mastery and we were here trying to do the math, checking with chat to see if you had lost it there, but folks were calling out how Eureka Moment would get you the cards you need. So that was great.
Yeah, I actually had a mistake there. I should have played the Mastery first. But it still turned out great. When he started drawing the second sun, I kind of panicked there. So I was just looking for the second Test of Talents. That's really it.
So just to clarify then, So you had one in hand, but did
Mhm.
not have another one until you'd done all the card draw from Mastery.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Oh
really
wow,
like tossing all the lands, tossing whatever, just to look for that second one because I'm pretty sure he has the other one.
wow.
Yeah, it was just wild back and forth all through this week, and we have seen some very close approach of the second son. But I feel like that was the closest we've seen it in round number 3 to actually one turn from winning. What have your thoughts been against these approach decks?
Oh, my thoughts.
Yeah.
The approach decks are really solid. I mean, you can just put it there instead of another rare or mythic rare, and you have another win condition. You don't really have to have all those card draws even. You can have like an aggro deck and just put in the approach, and you have another win condition. So it's a very solid thing. Plus, with the scry lands and all, you can definitely win by it earlier than the 7 draws that's needed.
Very true. And so, Jerome, you've been mostly playing Prismari this season, but this week you sort of switched it up to a teamer build. What was your, I guess, approach to that?
I got this idea when I played that. I forgot the name of the mode. There was this time when Arena only had these Strix cards. You can only play Strixhaven cards, kind of
Mhm.
thing. So I tried that one out, and I saw a deck where this guy just had like pure card draw, pure ramp, and there's just big spells in the end. That's really it, and it's
Nice.
really heavy. He
And
doesn't
this,
do anything until turn 7, really.
Yeah, because that was something we were also talking about, how like maybe turn 2 you would play Apprentice, but then after that you're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you guys banned the what's that called?
Uh,
sparring regimen.
Yeah,
yes.
because
Well,
because aggro decks are this deck is really weak against aggro.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of switched it a bit. I put the Rhino Reach card, the 4
mhm.
4 Rhino, because usually this deck loses to flying and aggro. So I guess the moment you guys banned the sparring regimen, all of
Well,
the sudden decks like these became stronger.
I do have some bad news. It was only suspended and only for a week, so we'll be
For
seeing it
only one
next
week.
week. If
So,
it
Oh no,
wins, probably will get banned, but who
but
knows?
I see.
but here's the thing though, Jerome. Like your deck proved how it really could compete against some of these aggressive decks and more controlling ones. So looking forward to see what you do with it next week. And keep in mind, your main deck must stay the same, but your sideboard can change. So
I see. I'll probably put some reach creatures or something like that. I don't know.
there you go.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, thank you
Nice.
so much, Jerome.
Hey, thanks for having me. See you
Yeah,
guys
no
next week.
problem. See you
See you,
next
Jerome.
week. Take
Thanks.
it easy. Wow, what a great interview with Jerome. You know, Jerome was part of the onslaught of Queenie in the Curiosity Kalheim season. Um, so she brought up a lot of great people from her community, and you know, if you are interested in hanging out and joining and playing Magic: The Gathering with some different rules, you know, come on and join us. We're a chill community. We're happy to have Jerome beat us. We're
Yeah.
happy to have Queenie beat us last week.
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, what are your thoughts going into next week, knowing that sparring regime is coming back? Um, do you think that people have learned their lesson, or um, are we going to go back to an aggro format?
I I think that let me say this. I don't think that the suspension of sparring regimen is going to be as impactful to the format as the coma suspension was in Kaldheim.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, what was it? Like 75% of decks were playing coma at that time when it got suspended. And then the entire meta shifted. Last week, two decks, 3 decks playing sparring regimen, and it was just sort of being discovered. So as a true aggro component. And as we talked about earlier in this video, like there are ways to build a decent, strong aggro deck without sparring regimen, and I feel like folks are going to find those. But hey, the Selesnya deck that is still lurking, I feel like that is definitely going to add back in sparring regimen, and that deck has a lot of potential. I would not be surprised if that wins one week.
Nice. Well, you know, like they say, every week. Until next time, we're curiosity.
Congrats, Brennan.